where everything is trying to kill.
What if I told you the ending of Predator Badlands we saw in theaters wasn't the one Dan Trachtenberg originally planned? That the brutal showdown between Deck and the father Predator was once a quiet, samurai-style standoff, and that the terrifying tease of the mother Predator was just the beginning of something much bigger? Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master, and today we're breaking down the alternate ending of Predator Badlands, what Dan Trachtenberg revealed about the film's hidden themes, secret cameos, and how James Cameron himself influenced that shocking final scene. Breaking the cycle. Trachtenberg's core vision. Trachtenberg made it clear that his approach to Badlands wasn't just about continuing the Predator legacy, it was about exploring deeper human themes. He said he's always interested in characters breaking cycles and dealing with the burden of where they've come from. That explains why Deck's story feels so personal, even though it's set against a brutal, alien-filled backdrop. The idea of a character struggling against inherited trauma mirrors what we saw in Prey with Naru. Both characters are caught in the middle of survival and legacy. It's no coincidence that this theme runs through every Trachtenberg Predator project. Alien versus Predator connections, or the lack of them. Of course, fans couldn't help but wonder if Badlands was secretly setting up another Alien vs. Predator crossover. After all, the hints are there. Shared lore, similar aesthetics, and that ever-present question of whether the xenomorphs are lurking somewhere in the universe. But Trachtenberg has officially shut down the idea that the studio pushed him toward that direction. He clarified that everything we saw, the design choices, story beats, and even the subtle nods, were entirely his own ideas. He emphasized that the purpose of the film wasn't just to tease a crossover, but to make audiences fall in love with each film on its own terms. He said, "The longer I can go without putting an alien into the film, the better." That statement alone says a lot. He wants the Predator universe to evolve naturally, not as a setup, but as a world that stands on its own merit. The original alternate ending. Now here's where things get really interesting. The ending we got, the explosive confrontation between Deck and the father Predator, wasn't always the plan. Trachtenberg revealed the original ending, or as he called it, the original coda, was much shorter and far more restrained. He described it as very Kurosawa, inspired by the samurai sword chapter in Killer of Killers. It was a quiet, tension-filled standoff where Deck and the father Predator faced each other. No lengthy battle, no drawn-out fight, just a moment of silent intensity. Then, as they charged each other, Deck noticed green Predator blood dripping, symbolizing both death and rebirth. But after test screenings, audiences wanted more. They were fascinated by the father Predator and the Royal Guard. They wanted to see what these creatures could do. So Trachtenberg expanded the final act, giving us the massive emotional battle that we saw in the final cut. It wasn't just about spectacle. It was about showing the contrast between violence and legacy, the son facing the monster that made him who he is. The mysterious mother Predator. And then came that final tease, the mention of the mother. Fans immediately started theorizing. Could she be Big Mama from the comics? A matriarchal leader of the Yautja species? Or maybe something far more terrifying? Trachtenberg didn't confirm exactly who she is, but he did say something very telling. Thinking from Deck's perspective, he imagined the line of thought being, "Get ready for whatever's worse out there." And then the thought of, "Oh, I know what could be worse than Dad." That single idea opens the door to something much bigger, the concept of hierarchy and gender within Yautja society. Trachtenberg acknowledged that he's aware of the fan art and comic portrayals of female predators, and hinted that he already has ideas on how to explore that in the future. And yes, James Cameron, the Aliens director himself, absolutely supported the ending and encouraged Trachtenberg not to back away from it. That endorsement alone gives fans hope that we might see the mother concept come to terrifying life in a sequel.
Welcome to the most dangerous planet in the universe.
Creative freedom in the Predator universe. Another fascinating thing Trachtenberg mentioned was his creative freedom within the Predator franchise. He said that even though Predator isn't his original creation, he's able to express himself more freely than he could in other established franchises. He compared it to playing with other folks' action figures, saying that Predator lets him bring his personal storytelling instincts to the forefront. That's probably why Prey and Badlands feel so distinct from previous Predator films. They're not just rehashes of old formulas, but explorations of identity, heritage, and survival wrapped in sci-fi horror. Hidden Easter eggs you might have missed. For fans who love connecting dots, Trachtenberg confirmed a few exciting Easter eggs that tie Badlands into the wider Predator and Killer of Killers lore. First, Naru from Prey is actually present in Badlands. It's not an in-your-face cameo, but a subtle nod, possibly through artifacts or visual references. Her presence helps bridge Prey's 18th century storyline with Badlands' post-apocalyptic setting, hinting at the long-running human Yautja conflict. Second, the Backbiter, the legendary weapon from the arena and Killer of Killers, also appears in Badlands. That one's a deep cut for hardcore fans and shows just how interconnected this growing cinematic universe is becoming.
I could help you.
What comes next? So what's next for Dan Trachtenberg and the Predator universe? While he hasn't confirmed a sequel yet, his comments about the mother Predator and his passion for slow organic growth suggest he's already planting seeds for what's to come. If Badlands was about a son breaking free from his father's shadow, then the next chapter could be about confronting the matriarchal force that governs the Yautja species, something older, wiser, and far more dangerous. One thing's for sure, Trachtenberg isn't done playing in this universe. And if his track record with Prey and Badlands is anything to go by, the future of the Predator saga is in incredibly capable hands.
A ferocious badass.
Our nerdy thoughts. And that wraps up our deep dive into the Predator Badlands alternate ending, a version that could have changed everything we thought we knew about Dek, the father Predator, and the terrifying world they inhabit. With Dan Trachtenberg teasing the rise of the mother Predator and James Cameron backing his vision, it's clear this universe is only getting started. If you enjoyed the breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop your wildest theories about who or what the mother Predator really is down in the comments. Until next time, this is Spoiler Master signing off. Stay sharp, stay nerdy, and remember, the hunt is never truly over.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.